Hi, this is Debbie Boyer, and in this video segment, we're going to talk about the app MindMapper for iPad, iPhone, and even Android. It's a great tool for students to organize their thoughts, create a graphic organizer, a timeline, just a way to get their thoughts captured. When we pull down in the middle of the screen, we can type in MindMapper, and you'll see the icon. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that and open it up, and it opens up to a blank screen. In the top left-hand corner, you're going to see a file folder where saved mind maps are. And then right beside it is a plus sign, and that'll let us start a new one. I'm going to call this one Light Sources. And that's the name of the file. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Yes. And it puts that right in the middle of my screen. I can change the color of it by clicking on the MindMapper symbol in the bottom left-hand corner. And when I do, right above that, you can see the A font. If I want to change the font to a different color, we can choose to have a red font. And we can choose to have a fill bucket with yellow, and maybe the outline of the circle might be purple. And we can also add different bubbles to the graphic organizer by clicking on the plus sign. And this one is going to be natural. And I'm going to click on the center again and hit the plus sign. And this one's going to be man-made. So these are light sources. From the man-made, I can click another plus sign, and up on the right hand side, you're going to see a little cogwheel, and right next to that is the symbol for picture, and it's going to let me choose a picture from my camera roll. I can take a picture live or from the camera roll, and I'm going to come in, and my man-made source is going to be a candle, and we're going to go ahead and use that and say OK. And it'll add an image right in next to the man-made. I can click on natural, go back to that camera icon, click on the camera again, and this time the sun might be my natural source of light. And so I can add photos to that as well. I can change the color of the font, do all kinds of different things. Right next to the camera symbol is a little lined piece of paper, and it's a note that I can add. So I can add a note in here as well, and you can see it puts that little symbol next to natural so that the students just have to click on it and it will be able to bring up the notes that they take. I can also look down in the bottom where the MindMapper is and where I chose my colored font and outlines and fill factor, and it will let me choose a different layout for my graphic organizer. So all I have to do in the center is click on that and choose, and it'll move it around and put it in a different order for me. If I'd like, I can click on light sources again, click right here at the bottom, and I can see that there's some different little symbols that I can choose to add to it, and I might choose a light source with a light bulb, for example. I can turn that off again by clicking on the light bulb again, but we can add different symbols in there if we would like. So the smiley face brings up different fonts, different bold, italics, cross out, whatever you need to do with the font, and it just gives you some creativity with the graphic organizer. Now when we get ready to save, there's a file folder right in the center where it says light sources, and when I click on that, it'll let me save this or save it as a different name, close it without saving it at all, or delete this one if I'd like to start over. So I'm going to go ahead and click on save. And when I look at the file folder in the top left-hand corner of the screen, under Mobile, you're going to see that I have a Light Sources file saved. Now, if I get ready to share that off the iPad, in the top right-hand corner of the iPad, you're going to see the universal symbol for share. And when I click on that, it's going to let me mail it as an image or a JPEG or as a PDF. And so we can mail it out to the students themselves or parents or to the teacher. Remember, too, that we can also capture whatever's on the screen by doing a screenshot. So if I hit the home button and the on-off button at the same time, it takes a picture snapshot of whatever's on the screen and puts it in the camera roll. So there's several ways to save the images that you're working with. I hope you'll use MindMapper with students as you're doing the writing process across grade levels and content areas, and let kids explore on their own and figure out all kinds of things that they can do with this. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.